The city of Delhi shimmered under a veil of soft golden lights. Streets were alive with couples walking hand in hand, flower vendors calling out their final sales, and the scent of roses and expensive perfumes lingering in the air. It was Valentine's Day, a night filled with confessions, promises, and stolen kisses under the moonlight. But for Neha Sharma, this night carried a different weight. She stood in front of her mirror, adjusting the delicate straps of her deep-red sateen dress. The fabric caressed her body like a forbidden whisper, hugging every curve, accentuating her presence in a way that made her feel something she hadn't felt in a long time. Desirable. Her dark, wavy hair fell effortlessly over her shoulders, teasing the exposed skin of her collarbone. Her lips, painted a sinful shade of crimson, parted slightly as she exhaled, a flicker of nervous anticipation running through her. She glanced at her phone. A single message. Rajan Malhotra. Dinner. 9 p.m. Where something unforgettable. Her fingers lingered on the screen. Rajan was not a man of empty words. When he spoke, his voice carried weight, an unspoken command wrapped in temptation. This was not just dinner. This was a test. A game of power, of surrender, of pushing limits. She knew what it meant to step into his world, to sit across from him, to meet his piercing gaze, and let the night unfold as he intended. Her breath was steady, but inside, her heart raced. Tonight, she wasn't just Neha Sharma, the widow. Tonight, she was a woman stepping into the unknown. And she was ready. A night painted in desire. Le Mirage, one of the most exclusive restaurants in Delhi, stood like a beacon of indulgence. Chandeliers cast warm, golden glows over elegantly set tables, wine glasses shimmered under dim candlelight, and hushed conversations created an air of mystery and intimacy. Neha stepped inside, her heels clicking against the polished marble floor. Her dress flowed like liquid fire, drawing discreet glances from passing strangers. And then, she saw him, Rajan Malhotra, seated at a private table near the window, a glass of whiskey in his hand, his sharp black suit perfectly tailored. He exuded power, effortless, undeniable. But it wasn't just his looks. It was the way he looked at her. Dark, intense, possessive. He wasn't just admiring her. He was claiming her. As she approached, he smirked, swirling the amber liquid in his glass. You took your time, Neha. I was beginning to think you were scared. She met his gaze, tilting her chin slightly upward. I don't scare that easily, Rajan. His smile deepened, a knowing smirk, as if he enjoyed the game. The waiter arrived, pouring wine into her glass. She lifted it, the stem cool against her fingers, and watched Rajan as he leaned in slightly, his voice dropping just above a whisper. To forbidden nights and choices we can't take back. Their glasses clinked, and in that moment, the unspoken contract between them was sealed. A slow, dangerous dance. Dinner was just a formality. They barely touched their food, each too consumed by the charged glances, the near-accidental brushes of fingers, the slow and deliberate tension between them. Neha watched the way Rajan held his whiskey glass, his fingers strong, confident, always in control. Tell me, Neha, what do you want from tonight? Her pulse quickened. The directness of his question sent a shiver down her spine. A good conversation, she replied smoothly, taking a sip of wine. Rajan chuckled, shaking his head. Lies don't suit you. Try again. She held his gaze, refusing to let him see the effect he had on her. Maybe. I just want to feel something real. A pause. A beat. Then, Rajan leaned closer, his voice low, teasing. And what if reality is dangerous? Neha swallowed. Then maybe I'm tired of playing safe. The moment stretched, thick with unspoken promises. Then, Rajan stood, adjusting the cuffs of his shirt. Come with me. It wasn't a request. And she didn't say no. A night without rules. The private suite was dimly lit, the city skyline glowing beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows. Neha stepped inside, her heartbeat loud in her ears. She heard the door close behind her. The air shifted. And then, his presence. strong, commanding, inches away. Do you know why you're here, Neha? Her breath caught. She turned slightly, their faces mere inches apart. Tell me. His lips curled, his fingers tracing a slow, tortuous path down her arm. To stop thinking and just feel. Her body responded before her mind could catch up. A slow, burning anticipation. He lifted her chin with 2 fingers, tilting her face upward. His gaze locked onto hers, searching, waiting, a silent question, a silent answer. And then, the world fell away. Their lips met, slow at first, tasting, testing, then deeper, more demanding. The tension of the night shattered, giving way to something raw, uncontrolled. Neha felt herself unravel, piece by piece, under his touch. The silk of her dress slipped from her shoulders. His hands, firm and knowing, traced every inch of her, igniting flames in places long untouched. She wasn't a widow tonight. She wasn't a woman trapped by memories of the past. Tonight, she was alive, wanted. And as the night stretched on, as hands explored and breaths mingled, Neha understood something with terrifying clarity. She wasn't just falling into temptation. She was drowning in it. And there was no turning back. Dawn's quiet confession. The first rays of the sun painted the room in hues of gold and crimson. Neha stirred, her body draped in soft sheets, the warmth of the night still lingering on her skin. Beside her, Rajan lay awake, watching her. His expression unreadable. You regret it? He asked. Neha met his gaze, her lips curving slightly. Not yet. Rajan smirked. Then let's make sure you never do. His fingers traced her bare skin, igniting a new kind of fire. And just like that, the night started all over again. To be continued.